born and brought up in Doha, Qatar. Why am I here? Well, to start, I'm a disability rights activist and a comedian. I'm a comedian who believes laughter like a fart, that you should let it go. Uh, Comedy is my tool of communication, the same way people use memes. Um, well, well, especially if they're shy. How many people here use memes? Raise your hands. I see a couple. I see at the front. Well, it's a human instinct to judge by physical appearance at first glance. And I know you all are wondering how many. I know you all are wondering. No, I was not always on a wheelchair. I'm 1 in 50 million women around the world born with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's an aggressive muscle wasting disease. My mother noticed changes in me when I was 4 years old because I started walking on tiptoes. And she went to different doctors for 2 years. And they kept saying to her, nothing is wrong with your daughter. You're crazy. Nothing is wrong with her. And I know, right? So right after that, she ended up forcing the doctor to get a biopsy done. And even on the paper, the doctor wrote, I think nothing is wrong with her, but the mother is forcing. And I know, right? And when the results came back, my mother proved the doctors wrong. She made the impossible possible. And right after that, I was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. As I got older, the disease got aggressive. And in my school life, I was getting weaker and I couldn't really climb stairs. And my parents asked the school management if they were going to keep me. And they said, yeah, just pay the fees. She's going to be going to the next years. And in between, what happened was that that right after that, we went to the first day of the school, and we couldn't find my name on the registry. And as we searched for my name, the principal came and pulled us aside into the office. They said they couldn't keep me due to safety reasons, that my disability could be a hazard, that they really didn't want to take a responsibility of having a physically challenged student. And my parents wanted to take the court to school for refusing my admission. And the school said, if you go to court, we will expel your other children. And that was such a devastating moment for my parents that it was risking my and my siblings' education on the line. So eventually, for the safety of everyone, we backed off. Special needs schools even rejected me because I was normal enough to go to a normal school. I was special for normal schools, but I wasn't special enough for special schools. Physically challenged people are denied education because of lack of physical access. And a lot of kids with disabilities, when they are denied education, they end up in poverty or even worse, in abusive households. I come to realize there are such as cultural attitudes, such as shame, fear, or embarrassment of part of teachers and pupils in the school. I realized that people took education as a business, but had no passion to inspire a mind and educate them about what the world has to offer. Right, just before my 12th birthday, I broke my leg, and while having a disease that makes my body weak, it wasn't really the best thing that could happen. The other important aspect to health is that coping with loss. You can love something as much as you can, but you never really know what you have until you lose it. I believe that grief doesn't change you, it just reveals who you are. I was mourning for the life that I once had, which made me really angry. You know what the scary part is? Some people don't even talk about it. They let it kill them spiritually, physically, and mentally. And people do want to talk about what they've been through. Either they want someone to talk about it to, or sit in silence with them. I reached to the point I was isolating myself from the friends and the family and society around me. Here's something that I learned. We all suffer. Don't suffer alone. Seek help, because we're the only ones to ever help ourselves. But we help ourselves when we seek help from others when we need it. And that it's okay to ask for help. By the age of 14, my parents realized that racism and ableism was pushed me to become suicidal, so they wanted me to get in something new. I went in art, yoga, and I got in technology. I don't know what clicked in me, but I wanted to take charge of my own life. I wanted to do better because I realized I was being my own biggest enemy. Do you ever take time to realize that in your life the things you haven't made peace with, you need to forgive people, not because they deserve it, but because you sitting here deserve peace. You deserve the peace of heart and mind and joy in your life. Why do you cause misery on yourself because of the pain others have caused you? Why do you become so selfish? I accepted that I didn't deserve what happened, and the best revenge I could do is be the best version of myself. And if you want to seek revenge from the people who have done you wrong, you need to improve who you are as a person. I thought I learned about technology and social media, and I realized the power of social media, but no one was talking about the issues people with disabilities were facing in our culture. And what did I decide to do? Through social media, I started getting connected with people who were dealing with similar issues. And we started talking about it and posting about it. And for me, the solution involves speaking against the systems and things in our culture that are wrong. Because once we talk about them, people are more aware. And maybe we can come together and find a solution. That way, we can really begin to improve things. People think that makes me brave. I'm not brave because I know speaking up will have consequences, but I feel like it's my purpose to speak the truth. I'm too sweet, and I can't sugarcoat it. I'm too sweet already. So, disability is a part of life. I wasn't rolling out of my mother's womb. It's something I eventually went on. And it would have been easier if the culture and society around was just so as something as ordinary. As a young Muslim disabled woman, my religion gives me dignity and respect, but I don't get this from the culture and society that I am in. People want to talk about seeing the world improve, but are they taking any actions to make it better? We need people using social media to talk about more important issues in our society and culture to see what we can improve. And once our societies are more aware of these issues, we can come together to fix them. Being an influencer or even a social media user is more than posting about an expensive bag, makeup, or coffee. Are you using it in a are you using it in a useful way to make the world better? What I also noticed the underrepresentation of people with disabilities in the media, from movies, films, TV show, and hosting. People with disabilities that are capable of acting are not given the opportunity, and the people who you do see acting don't have disabilities. If we showcase people with disabilities as TV hosts, anchors, as normal people, and in tourism videos, we would see them, we would normalize them, because social media is so powerful. What we keep seeing, we normalize it. I realized that I've been using comedy my entire life to overcome the biggest challenges in my life. I watch comedians like Russell Peters, Kevin Hart, Gabriel Iglesias, and I joined Stand-Up Comedy Qatar. And I have performed all around Qatar, from charity events, universities, and even in Dubai and Pakistan. So it's been quite around. Yes, people in Qatar were very surprised to see me perform because they have seen people with disabilities perform online, but never in live in front of them. And that was the time they realized I became Qatar's first stand-up comedian who can't stand up. So we all have to laugh at ourselves at the end of the day, despite our cultural differences or problems. We all are alike when it comes to laughter and pain. And through my comedy videos being shared around the region, I got approached by brands to be a model. And I'll tell you, best part of modeling with heels on, I never have to worry about falling in heels. I will never fall in them. It's amazing. So that was my first shoot. And yeah, this was the time, this was the official shoot with the Qatari brand. I became the first Qatari model with the first Qatari brand. I became the first wheelchair model here in Qatar. And right after this, in 2016, I founded Muscular Dystrophy Middle East and Qatar. I started the first supporting group in Qatar for parents, children, and caregivers who have people with muscular dystrophy. Thank you. And yes, you can give a round of applause, no worries. So right after this, I started a project. This was one of our first events. And this art project, I started this project with a photographer named Maria. So what we're trying to showcase the beauty of disability in our culture. And through this, this is a project for the community, by the community. What do I mean by that? We have makeup artists, designers, and people who want to give their time to make a concept happen. And through this, we start connecting with makeup artists. And 1 minute, this was one of the photos. This is a famous footballer from Barcelona, Xavi. And so yeah, we wanted to showcase the beauty. And through this, we started, like right after this this particular photo, we posted that we needed flowers for a shoot. And the next day, we had a flower shop reach out to us from 200 flowers. Whoa, yeah, I know, right? That's the power of social media and community coming together. We can create such beautiful things once we come together through the power of social media. My other biggest accomplishment, other than being on the stage, is that in 2017, I was named the BBC 100 Women. I became one of the 100 most influential and inspirational women for 2017, representing Qatar. As someone who grew up feeling alone, I saw no one like me on social media. And now because of media, I end up connecting with people like Tala. Tala has a daughter with muscular dystrophy. And she shows her daughter that there is someone like her, because when she's in school, she doesn't really see anyone who's like her. So she shows her daughter my videos. And that's what gives me purpose of life, purpose of serving the community, learning for kids to know that there is someone like them, and that's Tala. In this world, we all have a privilege. And I feel like we should be using our privilege the right way. I'm a young disabled woman who has the privilege to speak about the issues me and the other people with the disability community face with. But I know a lot don't have this option. I'm being the voice for the voiceless, and I want you to do that too. When you see injustice happen, please speak up against it, because you never know how much you're helping them. So, I just want to thank my parents, because they believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself. They never followed the social norms. If my parents followed the social norms, I wouldn't even be here. Let's use our privilege to make the world a better place. Thank you.